What is up, everybody? This is ThatBrownBat here for... I don't know what this is. You know, I am testing some things out. So, when I do the edit, if my face is in the way of the scenery, then I'm not going to use the cam until I get a better setup, because I can't see the preview while I'm doing this. I'm running everything off the same computer. All right, but anyway, I have a little dilemma with Coruscant Underworld. So let me show you what the dilemma is. The dilemma is not aesthetics, because it looks great. But I want to go through and show you what my original plans were, what the issue is now, and what I maybe can propose to do about it. But there's an issue with what I want to do about it. So I'll get into all that as we go on. So you're in for a ride, baby, because this is going to take forever. Well, I can't take forever because my camera is plugged into my computer, and my computer on the Samsung mobile phone, the Galaxy 5 or something like that, doesn't stay charged. It charges slowly. I don't know why, but I have to connect it to the battery pack in order for it to... Anyway. Alright, my collection. Boba Fett flies, so we'll use Boba Fett.
Name's Fett. Boba Fett. Who's
okay.
The target?
So, I probably should have loaded up one of the prototypes first to give you an idea of how the Coruscant portals work. But this is my final build for this particular set, for this particular style. What do I mean? I'm talking about the size, the canyon size. There's 4 canyon pieces, but I'm only talking about the width here. So we have, I think, a 6, a 10, and a 12. All right, and those are quarter pieces. And then you have you have different heights, and I'm using the thick ones, the tall ones, which are 6 blocks tall each. But anyway, these are the medium ones, so these are 12. No, all right. I misspoke. We have a 10, a 12. And I can't remember what the biggest one is. But anyway, I'm not using the biggest one because definitely that won't work. It'll take up too much space. Anyway, I've reached the limit with this. So much so that while I was putting down if you can see right here, can you see the wires? I don't know what you call them, the power lines. Can you see the power lines right there? So I wanted power lines between all the buildings that resemble real life. You know, the ones that break. All right, so that's the slum parts. I mean, the whole thing in the underbelly is slums, but if you look at the when they descend, at least when they went down to 1312, and it was either To Catch a Jedi, or there was a 3-part series. So the middle one, when they actually showed the Coruscant police force going down the hole, right? So it's pretty much an animated scene of the trailer for 1313, but in that episode they went to 1312. And I believe in season 7, Ahsoka actually went down to 1313. I have not watched that yet. I have the DVD set sitting right here. Just bought it. The complete. I don't know if the movie's in there. You know, the movie. Anyway. The outskirts, what they show, are big buildings. So I got that covered. What I don't have is the upside down buildings coming from the ceiling. And that is the last thing I tried to do before it crashed. for the umpteenth time. I had this grand scheme that I was going to build at least 2 cities, and I'll show you how that's laid out in a second. But it's going through this, and I'm using the dark sky, so maybe I should make it brighter. I don't know. But odd thing is, I'm not getting any frame rate drop or anything, so that's a plus. But you see it in the Nomad Mondays. If you don't watch the Nomad Mondays, watch them, because I go over pretty much how to build everything I build in these without mods. Yeah, so this is strewn with kiosks all over the place. Almost very similar to Voskessel Street. Very similar. The only difference will be the layer of dirt that's on all the buildings. I guess I don't know. I don't know. They look very much the same. So it's laid out differently in Coruscant. Of course, the lower you go, the more dangerous it gets. Like level 1 is like all toxic gas, I guess. I don't know how that exactly works. But anyway, you can see some of the sign mods here. That actually is one of the posters from the interior that actually has a glow to it. So there's different, you can't make everything glow, but I can give anything emission. There's a difference. Emission means that it spreads light like this. See how that's red right there? I can make any object do that, but the glow, I can't make every object do that because that's based on the material. So that's one of the posters. It was the I can't remember right off the top of my head. But anyway, you can see what I did to it. If you ever seen the Star Wars Holiday Special, I feel bad for you. But yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. But Harvey Korman was a comedian back in the 70s. He played, I forget her name. They actually gave her a name. And it's a 4-arm lady that had a cooking show. And what this says in Arabesh, I found a website that'll convert English to Arabesh, and it says, stir, whip, whip, stir. Because that was the whole gimmick. It was, so anyway, Chewbacca's wife was watching a cooking show. Anyway, and if you know anything about the Underground, even if, well, there's 2 different definitions in Star Wars of Underground. One being anything that's shady and seedy that has to do with crime syndicates or things like that. You know, like Black Sun. Smugglers would be underground. You know, Han Solo had dealings in the underground. Lando did. Because why? Because they were smugglers. They didn't smuggle candy, people. Okay? Spice. The spice mines of Kessel. The Kessel Run. Kessel was a planet that had to do with spice. Han smuggled spice. One of his customers was Jabba the Hutt. Okay? Jabba the Hutt paid for a bunch of spice. Han was getting boarded by the Imperial, so he dumped all his spice. Why? Because just like in real life, if you are smuggling drugs and you get boarded or you get stopped by the police, you go to jail. So, you know, growing up, I didn't understand all that. Han was smuggling spice. Spice is an illegal substance that gets people high or something of that nature. It affects the mind or something like that. Anyway, it's not candy, right? So Star Wars, even though it's been, Star Wars is for kids. Yeah, Star Wars also has adult themes, and that was the biggest adult theme in there. People don't realize that. They forget about it. Anyway, in this build right here, I have 4 sections, 4 corners, having 4 terminals, subway terminals. So, or I should say 4 subway terminals and 4 railway terminals. Now this one I was going to have a train go around the entire perimeter. This one went outside. And I ran out of space, so I had to cut corners. I had to take that off. I had to take it out of the mix. So the idea is you go in here, and then the subway terminal will be a different level, which will be messed up because it'll be very short. Because all it is showing a train to take you to another area. So maybe it'll take you to another area. Maybe I'll have to do another one of these. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about so many things. Here's the subway terminal. So of course the idea is you go down here and you go there and you teleport to the subway. Again, there's 4 of these and there's 4 of these, each on all 4 corners of the toy box itself. Also, the idea was not to enclose all this with the blocks. The idea was to use the Coruscant edge, or the Coruscant outer ring, and have it stacked. I have a toy box with that, but there's not much in it except that. It was all preliminary stuff. Again, I will get to that in a bit, providing, well, good. My camera might die, but I'll still have the game recording. Yeah, so putting characters or NPCs in here, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Because I'm almost at the limit. And with the mod, you can't tell what the limit is. It'll just keep crashing. So you can see a poster up there. And that's the actual, the Han poster. I just changed it to the wanted poster. It's all in Orabesh. I don't know if you know who that guy is right there, but if you do, you're my friend. No, it's Johnny Millennium. It's the Happy Console Gamer. No, I don't know him personally, but I just thought that would be cool because I'm like, that was originally the shield symbol, and I wanted if you watch Attack of the Clones on the Outlander Club, there's the Bith, and then there's the other alien that has the weird shaped head, and they go back and forth. I'm paying attention to these small things, so I was trying to get details. So I'm like, let me get the Bith in here because I have the other character on one of the other signs, and he's holding a big thumbs up. And I'm like, you know what? This is only good for Star Wars stuff. What about anything else? What if I want to do Blade Runner, which I did a Blade Runner style toy box once, and that was one of the least amount of views I had during my first run of YouTube. But anyway, that would be good. So I got that, put that in there. Again, here's Tron's head. Or it's not Tron's head. Who is that? It's one of the things from Tron movie, but I don't think it's Tron. I think it's the bad guy. But anyway, it works good for this. Just wish we had access to make it. I do have access to making that bigger, I'm not going to do it. But that'd be cool, just having that big old face. Ginormous. So here's another terminal. It's the same one, isn't it? No, it's a different one. I'm all the way down to the end of the street. But yeah, this is on the end of that street. I don't know if that's what the terminals look like per se, because the only image I found was, I think it was something, I don't know where it was from, but it was drawn like a 5-year-old drew it. So I don't know if it was from Tales of the Jedi or some children's book. It was on Wikipedia for Coruscant subway stations. But where else? Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to change anything here. If I do, or if I don't, this walkthrough will be done again during Star Wars Day, but not as long because we tried it. The idea is to. Oh, I thought I got rid of this. There. The idea is to make it applicable or friendly, viewer friendly, so you can actually watch one creator and then watch the other creator, and of course at the end of the day there's a playlist where you can watch it all regardless of how long you go on. But I don't want to overlap into somebody else's time, and so you got to be very considerate about that. Not everybody is, and we don't, not everybody knows that, so I try to keep mine 20 to 30 minutes for our events. Some people go 15 minutes, but I don't want to go super long in the events because I don't think that's fair. Even though you can switch off anytime you want and watch the other person's when they start up. But so this is my long form of this. You've seen it a month early in concept, but I don't have enough time to redo it. So here's some Ahsoka wanted posters. I thought that was fitting. If I was ever going to do a storyline where she ever came down here and she was being chased by the clone troopers with help of from Asajj. The only thing I can't promise is no killing because they explode, when you beat them. And that doesn't mean they definitely don't. The toys don't live when they explode. So you can see right there. You know who that is? I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, you know what? I got to put me in here somewhere. So it's the Brown Bat mod. So yeah, all this stuff, these decorations will be available when 1.2 comes out, and that is set right now for Star Wars Day. There's a couple more things that I am working on. And of course, the toy box will be available. Just keep in mind that it's at its limit. So if you're going to build in it, you might have some issues. But again, Star Wars Day. See, I left this kiosk empty. I don't dare put anything in there. But most of them are full. Most of them are occupied. So I have one dark alley in this whole huge toy box. That actually has nothing. I mean, this is, the idea is, sometimes I wanted to make everything like this. But this is also one of those things where if I build it again, it won't be the same thing twice. The only map I have is the layout of the buildings. I don't have a map saying what the buildings are. So it's up for interpretation. I have a tutorial on these doors. It looks like this one right here. I wasn't paying attention. It needs to be rotated around because you're not supposed to see that. But I got to do a tutorial on that, and it'll have to be a mod tutorial because I don't have anything that. Yes, I do. I do have a door, or we do have a piece that looks like a door. And that's the robin's egg, but it has to go. The line has to go vertical. Anyway, it's best done with mods anyway. This is. A lot of repetition on the signs, even though I modded a lot of the signs. Looks like I didn't change the theme of that awning. Well. But how do I make this smaller? Another thing I like is I could be going around the same couple buildings And I wouldn't realize it unless I seen a sign that stuck out of place. Like, if I had a quest, like, you got to find the club. There's nothing back there in that kiosk. Here's a junk kiosk. Scrap, cruiser parts or whatever. So, where's the club? I don't know. Where is the club? So, this is one of the signs I want to change to make it universal. So, if you don't know what it says, it can be anything, So that's what I'm planning on doing. And there's that one and the other one, the pizza one. I don't want the pizza one in there. I mean, that limits it to Earth. Bobby D's Pizza. What's a pizza? So I'm thinking something that has something to do with the Empire or the Galactic Republic. Just a symbol that says something in Arabesh on one and something on the other. I don't know. Most of the signs, when you look for signs, they're horizontal signs. So that's something I can do right there. Now you can see that's glowing. The only reason this sign right here is glowing is because the light from these is shining on it. If I were to take that off and put it in a dark alley, this would not glow because it does not have a regular glow to it. It would emit light because I modded it to emit light. So that's where the majority of the light is in here. I don't have an external light source, so except the whatever light comes from the modded Sky Dome, which is very, very dark. All the light is coming, not this. Again, this is glow or bloom, if you will. It's called bloom in the settings. This is bloom. This is glow, right? It's not radiant, so to speak, like this. This sign right here, that's radiant. Plus, it's radiant because I told it to radiate light, but this also glows. But this doesn't. You can see it doesn't. That light here is coming from the Nominisian lamp, as I modded that to emit light, whereas it already inherently glowed. But I didn't do that with everything because, like, I put a soft light on this. I didn't make this really bright on these pieces. This glows, but I didn't cause that to emit light. Because I'm not using that as a light source. I'm using that, same thing with this. Not everything that has light you're going to use for a flashlight. Oh yeah, how do you like this? I just put barricades all around the pit. I'm calling it a pit, the hole, the portal. Yes, the floor, the road, these are road pieces. This is Wally's. This is the final. I don't think I can achieve anything better than the way that this looks. Even though it's, I've seen different pictures of Coruscant Underworld floors. I really don't care what they are. I put this down and I'm like, this stays. This stays. Now, I can tell we were already here because the Han Solo poster. Yes, Oscorp buildings. See right here? You don't see a glow on that as much, except for what's coming from the... Here you do. Because the light source, actually, the natural light source of the Sky Dome is coming from here. This side. I don't know if it's north, south, east, or west, but it only comes from one side. So you're going to see that. But if I were to turn this, you would have to shine a light in order to see who that was, or what that was. So I was very careful in trying to get these, the ones that don't have a glow, to look like they have a glow. I was unsure what, there's only 2 pictures in this, so I just got a picture of cup noodles and a blaster pistol. I couldn't think of anything else. I could, but you know, I already got Twi'lek females all over the place because that was, I mean, that's a thing. But I just don't want to go too overboard with the even though it's underground, but I don't want to get too overboard with the seediness. Yeah, we were already here. All right. So I know I have not covered everything. One of the things another thing I did not get a chance to implement are the elevators, or at least one elevator to allow us to go up. You know, because there's a couple places that have multiple levels, this being one. One of the ideas was to connect all the buildings that look like this to a second layer, or most of them. But again, space. Now, if I could cut this in half in a build, and possibly, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. Would it work if I cut this half from over here off, or at least the majority of it, right? You know, the thing is, I got it to where it's 90, to me, it's 90% perfect. I don't want to diminish that and have it 75%. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I know with the original one that I did on the PS4, I still went over the limit, and I didn't go over the limit. I almost reached the limit where I can only get like 3 NPCs in, and I could only fight one enemy at a time without it crashing. Well, I'm thinking that I got the majority of this covered with this tour. It just looks so awesome. Doesn't look as grungy as I wanted it to, but you still can get the feel of it. I mean, especially going down that alleyway. So, you know, I can't put these pieces all over the place. The rubble. I would like to. I'd like to put it everywhere. There's the Brown Bat Diner. All right, so let me load up one of the other maps that were that predated this build, is like a test. Okay, so let me go up to the top. This is a lot of Star-Lord. Modded Star-Lord, but still, it's a lot. Alright, so this is the small one. The small canyon pieces. This one has the small canyon pieces, I think. You know what? Let me grab a hold of one of the pieces. Yeah. So you can see how it is the small one. The idea why, well, there's actually 2 ideas, but this is what caused me to do the medium one, because the Rebel transport, it's a Rebel transport. It's not only used on Hoth, it's actually in Return of the Jedi as well, if you pause it during the battle. But the Corellian Corvette, or the Tantive 4, to be one of the most popular ones, is bigger than this. When the Corellian Corvette, or when a Corellian Corvette descends down this hole, and is shown in the 1313 trailer, or one of the 1313 trailers when that was still in production, before they canned it, it actually is probably a quarter of the size of the entire hole. Now, of course, I can't get this exact anyway, so what difference does it make? I don't know. So what I was just getting at is, what I was thinking is, this should be very, very small. So I just figured it'll fit. And it did. You just seen it. The whole thing, almost everything that I needed in there, wanted in there, fit. But now that I'm contemplating it, redoing it, if I redo it smaller, this is the area square that I would be dealing with. Very small. Now, the difference is 12 blocks, but 12 blocks going up, down, or was it 12 blocks total? 12 blocks up, 12 blocks, 12 blocks, blah, blah, blah. 12 blocks this way, 12 blocks this way. So this is a 60 by 60. The one that I just showed you was a 72 by 72. And the idea is, when they go down here, this is cool because I never knew that. All right, so pretend I didn't know that until today. So pretend, not today, last week. I stand corrected. I did find something else that caused me. It was a drawing that I did. It caused me to speculate that this is how it was done. But paying close attention to the episodes. So this surface area right here would be the surface level. This was the idea. Now, the surface level, before you go down these portals, does not has towers, but it doesn't necessarily have buildings. So it's not something you'd walk on. It's a bunch of, what it looks like, actually, is, if I were to go to building set 5, well, it looks like the Death Star. It looks like a bunch of these, all put together. That's what the surface of a lot of the rooftops look like if they're not meant for walking on. You know, Cocoa Town, if you don't know what Cocoa Town is the district where Dex's Diner is. Now, in Lego's Skywalker Saga, they put it in the Uskru district. Incorrect. So they merged those two together. It is incorrect. It is in Cocoa Town. I only know that from Wikipedia, but that is in canon it's Cocoa Town. In non-canon it was Cocoa Town. I think it was the same thing in non-canon, but canonically it's called Cocoa Town, where Dex's Diner is. Anyway, that is not the same place as the Uskru district where the Outlander Club is. Anyway, so this would be a surface area getting down to where you go down here, right? And you can also see it very clearly if you watch Clone Wars Season 5, when Ahsoka is going down here. All right, so they descend. Now, if this is the level you want to go to, then you would park your ship over here or drop off your passengers and leave. If this is not your destination, you would just keep going down until you reach your destination. But that's how that works. And I thought I could at least get two towns, two sections of city built And incorrect. So one of the things I like to do, just playing around, right? I just couldn't get enough of this. And that pretty much goes to the entire toy box. I know I can go up higher, but what I wanted to do, the plan was to make it tall enough to fit in building set 2, the tallest building that we have in here. So I said, well, let me make it tall enough to at least fit that in, because I was being very optimistic that I could do a top and 2 cities in the middle. Incorrect. All right, so let's see. Now here's the large one blank. I think we're on the lower level. It's empty. Yeah, that's the one I loaded up. So the large one. When I say large, I don't think it's the largest. I think it's medium. Let me look.
There is nowhere to hide from me.
Yeah, large meant medium. So this is, you see how see how the difference is. So this is what I went with in the final build. Well, I say final now. It's the most recent one that you've seen. So I'm like, oh, yeah, it'll fit in here. Yeah, look how much space I have. Well, once I fall all the way down here. I have to turn, I have the camera in the way. Yeah, so look how much space I have left. Right? Surely I'll get all the buildings in there because it's repetition. Yeah, and I have the light factor, because anything that casts light is going to take up a little bit more space. But the thing is, how much more space? You know, I know if I had 1,000,000 pennies, I'd have a lot of money. If I have 1 penny, it's not a lot of money. So things add up. Let's load up. Let's see. Underworld Test B. So I think this was just working on one city street. I've posted some pictures regarding this. But it's hard to tell which is which, because I only took the pictures of the completed parts. So you couldn't tell it was not finished.
Nothing stops Boba Fett.
Alright, so this was all practice runs, so you can see right around I have the Coruscant outer rings, and that was the plan. And if I'm going to do something like a story, I want to do a story, that's all I wanted to do was have it take place on one street. You know, then I'd only have to build a certain section out and block it off with a barrier block, so you can't go out any further. That doesn't glow. Unfortunately, I thought it did. That was the Hercules poster. I thought because Hercules looked like it glowed, that it glued. That it glued. Glued? It's not a past tense of glow. But anyway, yeah, this was just a test run. And this was using the small one or big one? This is using the middle one. Okay. I'm not sure if there's anything down here. No, this is all... I don't see green down here. What Skydome was I using? Oh, it is green. Okay. Yeah. I was hoping that that would work. It looks cool. It looks a lot better than having the having it blocked in with the large wall blocks, doesn't it? Can't get enough of that. All right. Is that the last one? Do I have another test? Test B, test C. Test C is before I put all the population in there, so I don't have to worry about showing you test C. You've pretty much seen that in the first one I showed off. Everything else are the other areas of Coruscant that I'm not going to go through those. You'll see those Star Wars Day. I have to... I was going to do a subway, and this is the subway test. I think this is... Which one is it? Oh, there's only one subway test. Okay. No, there's two. I think it's this one.
There is nowhere to hide from me.
I have to find it. It's somewhere here. There, it's up there. I think. Yeah, this is before I realized that I can't build the entire thing underground. I just didn't have enough memory. So this is one concept. This is the first concept. I actually used the subway piece. That's what this is. I believe it's the San Francisco subway arch or something like that. So in order to get everything to line up, you have to wrap around and then boom. Now I'm underground in the subway. And this was not the... I'll have to load the other one up because I had another way of doing this unless I deleted the toy box. Because I'm unsure how to do it. Do you put these tunnels in there? Do you leave it all arch blocks? If you're wondering what this is, actually, this is the yellow. I think it's the yellow one. Whatever. This second. Oh, it says orange right there, doesn't it? The flying orange turbine is a train. And the reason that I selected these is because I never use them. And they can be attached to a path creator. I wouldn't have done that if they would have given us Marvel Battlegrounds on the PC version, but they didn't. So I replaced it. So I have another one called Test. Let me see. I think there's a subway in there. Or it's just called Toy Box. Oh, Lower Arches. What's this one then? This, let me load this one up. I think this is just testing arches. I don't think there's anything special about this one. Which means I think I can just safely delete it.
Let's go. My time is expensive.
So I put a building there. Practice building. You can see it's not finished, but it does have a kiosk. This one I actually put a door showing that you could go out the door. This is a deep one, but I was unsure. I was just practicing. But I do know they have side doors on there. All right, so where is... all right. So this one, I blocked out the city where I was going to build the buildings and was trying to make streets, and I didn't like it. But somewhere in here is an entranceway. Yeah, you can see some of the floors dug up because I was trying to get all the pieces to match until I said, you know what? This ain't working. Not working. Now, where's the memory on this? To look around my camera. So you can see it took quite a quite a bit of memory already. Now, the idea was to build the walls and the stairs, but I had to rip all that out. So the train actually is supposed to go in deep. So I put it in halfway. But I'm like, that kind of looks cool from up here because you can't tell what's going on. But you get down there, it's like, you can totally tell it's a train on top of a train. But the idea was to make it go so fast you didn't even see it. You couldn't even notice that. Then I started thinking, I have other things that I could swap out and make be attached to path creators. So in the console version, the building set 5. In the console version, these particular pieces, this piece can be attached to a path creator in the console version. I don't know about all of these, but I do know that this can be. And this can be. How do I know that? Because I used them in the first Coruscant Underworld build that I did like 8-9 years ago. But here, look at this. So I was thinking, well, I'll just build the railway around that. Here's the problem. It's not wide enough. So I'm like, it's going to smash through these pillars. But I'm like, I really, 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 really want to use the arch blocks. But anyway, that's neither here nor there right now. I have another idea. I could do the thing in 2D, and it'll still look cool. But anyway, I think that's it. Yeah, let me delete this one. Now, did I go to the lower arches? I can't remember now. Let me go lower arches. I think that's where we are because I'm looking at that. I think the one I just deleted is where we're at. Let me go down there and look to see how the... Yeah, figures. I didn't find the, I didn't hit the, save point. Is this the one called test, or? I just want to look at the arch to see. I don't even know where it's at now. Did it disappear? No, it's up here. Okay, so yeah, this is the one I just deleted. So you can see it. This is 2 blocks. The vaulted platforms are on 2 blocks. So the other one. The other one, this one that I'm loading up, is on 1 block instead of 2 blocks. I thought that looked better.
There is nowhere to hide from me.
So yeah, pretty much it actually was the same toy box. You can see the same buildings over there. But this one I kept working on a little bit more. Yep, so you can see right here I have the terminal starting to be fleshed out, and I used the shield pieces for that. So the idea was to go on the stairs, turn down, and then you go through here. And I wasn't happy the way it does not line up. So when I took the screenshot, I had to hide the fact that it wasn't completed. But yeah, same concept, using the small bullet train here. But this one's a little bit more fleshed out. than the last one. So when I do it, I'll use this concept, I think. And the other thing is, I don't have to use that train, even though it'd be cool. But for Star Wars, I'm probably going to use Simple Toys to make something that looks more sci-fi, I guess. I mean, of course, it'll just look like blocks. But anyway, I need to find a way to get that, because it was a transition scene, or not the all right. So the train going around the Underworld, like Ahsoka took the railway in season 5 when she got in a fight with the clone trooper or the police. That was the railway. That was not the subway. And in season 2, 3, where she had where she got her lightsaber stolen, lightsaber lost. That was the railway above ground, or on the surface. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, on the surface. But when she was on the 1312, she took the railway down there, not the subway. Did not show a subway. And the only reason you could tell, because it's dark, how do you tell? When she got there, you could see that it was out in the open. So she did not go underground. But there is one based on Wikipedia. That's why I incorporated both. Tried to. At least the terminals. So let's load the big one back up. Alright, so what was I going to show you? I don't remember. Something about the subway. Oh! So going out here, the idea was to go around the toy box. The only way I'm going to achieve that is to go here, load up another toy box. And to me, that's going to be weird, because that's going to load up another toy box to show you riding on a train. I got it. I could build a train interior. That's what I could do. I could build a train interior, and it'd be the same toy box for all 4 corners. And, and have a menu option come up, ask you where you want to go. Like it matters, right? Where am I? Where's north, south, east, or west? Well, do you want to go to the one with the Ezra wanted poster, the Ahsoka wanted poster, or the Han wanted poster? I don't know what's at the other end. I think it's the Brown Bat restaurant or something. And Subway, of course, would be a bunch of underground tunnels. You know how I like to make sewers. So it'd connect to sewers. And again, where would that take you in here? That would actually... I didn't know I had Z fighting here. Oh, that's from the radio. Well, maybe I don't need a radio. I'm not going to save it. I just want... Oh, that's not from the radio. Is that from the pillar? No. What is that from? Oh, I know what it is. It's the door. Okay. It's that door. Okay. Yeah, well. I'm not going to save it. That's why I didn't care. I deleted those pieces. So yeah, that's what I could do. I could make a train adventure, and you'd have to do something on the train. And maybe I'll put that guy, Vincent what's his name? Vincent Giavelli or something like that. The guy that played the crazy ghost on the train from Ghost. Get off my train. I don't think that there's a NPC character that looks like him. There might be. That'd be funny. I'm not going to play the clip because he says a bad word in that. When he gets upset. When he loses his cool. You think I jumped They pushed me. Well, you think I'm lying? And I'll stop the quotes right there. Anyway, I'm going to let you all go. I got to edit this, and see you guys in the next episode. By the way, don't forget to like and comment. This mega build has gotten very mega. But I don't foresee me shrinking this down in being happy. I tried it on graph paper and I do not see it looking. So let's see how many, let's see. Let's see if we can cause it to crash. I'm not going to go crazy because I know better. But let's see if I can get, let's see, who would be in here? Shoot, let's get some Nyctos. And if it's during like the Clone War area or era. All right, it hasn't crashed yet. I don't want to put too many down, so I'm not going to have a Toy Box Rumble down here. Cayuzo Blade. I had to do I'm not going to tell you. Somebody else has probably already seen it. Well, you know what? They're busy building something, so I don't want to give anybody ideas for something I might do, but that whoever is going to have the same idea is probably not watching this. All right. So anyway, there's a movie coming out that's going to feature Embo. Well, I can easily make an Embo character. Then I can have Embo, Boba, and the other guy, Cad Bane, if I want. So apparently these guys take up less space than putting in the rail slides, because the rail slides cause the thing to crash. Huh. Isn't that funny? I mean, putting in more than what I have. Now I have to find them because there's no radar in here. Why? Cause radar love. Been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. Da, 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 da. And it has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. And that had nothing to do with the Modern Day Trade Federation. It's just a figure of speech that Mama always said. Mama always said there'll be days like these. There'll be days like these. Mama said, I'm looking for the bad guys so at least I can fight them. But without the radar, I cannot readily find them. Well, I can see some movement. Let's have a good old-fashioned shootout. When are they gonna notice me? Oh, right there. Oh, that didn't work. This is Sparta! I know you ain't Embo, but one day you will be. My gun's broken. I was trying to shoot. He never reloaded. That was weird. All right, I gotta go. I gotta call this. My eyes are watering, and they burn. Probably lack of sleep. But until next time, remember to keep on modding, keep on messing, and keep on... Oh, there's more guys. And keep on building. All right, let's go crazy and populate it with townspeople. Not NPC characters, the regular ones. Where are they? Yeah, I guess they're twins. The more variety you put in there, the more space it takes too, because it's loading all the different materials and textures for every individual character that I put in. Every variant of character I put in here. But still, I got in more than what I expected, so I want to try one more thing before I call it quits. And that is, my eyes are still, I'm watching this, I'm playing this with one eye. Oh, you can see me, I could have the camera on. I forgot. Yeah, I really, oh, I have a napkin here. Hang on. Oh, man. Okay. Somewhere, I think it's under game maker. It's the templates. All right, you just have to find the right one. And see if I can get that in here without breaking stuff. No. It's called text or something like that. I'm just looking at the pictures because I don't feel like reading. Oh, where is it? You know how many game templates they have in here? Quite a bit. All it is the Blockhead Cinderella. This is the text greeter. I don't want that one. This one. Does this one work too? Either one of these. I'm thinking this one will be a little bit more kind because it has less pieces. Yeah, now I can see the frame rate just dropped. Like big time. So what you want to do with when you get when this mod is released, you put that down. Now that's the only way I know of how to get the text creator. And I put the line of code in there. Don't ask me to tell you what it was. It's one of those things where I just followed the steps from the Reddit from like 10 years ago or however long it was. 6 years ago, whatever. And then quest? Question mark. And I haven't used these since 2000. When was it? 17? Something like that. So I have to remember how I used to hook these up. So, because you can have it go to the next line, go to the next line, go to the next line, and then you can pretty much use these as if you choose this, then this happens. So you can use these for more than just one thing. You can use these things for what do you call it? You can use these for different types of quests or different outcomes and things like that. You can use them with other logic things too. But I just wanted to see if I could get that in the toy box. Now, if I grab a hold of this, see, because it no longer exists in the toy box on the PC version. Now, the console, it's still there. As far as I remember, it's still there on the console, but you can't do anything with it because they disabled it, which was one of the dumbest things that they could have ever done. Now, I remember watching this 72 Pringle because they told us they were going to get rid of it, which, I mean, that was pretty decent. They told us they were going to get rid of it. So before they got rid of it, he put down, 72 of them, maybe, fitting for his name, 72 Pringle. I don't remember how many he put down. But he programmed an entire toy box with different texts in it. So you could just pick them. If you wanted it to say this, you wanted it to say that, then you just use that one. And that was the idea was to use that as the template for every toy box. And I said, you know what? Good idea, but I don't have the time to do that. And I didn't at the time. I still don't. But then I seen this mod a couple years ago, 3. Yeah, wow. Whew. It's been a while since I've been down here in Texas. So it was either when I moved down here or right before I moved down here in 2021. 2021? Oh my goodness, I've been down here for more than 3 years. Wow. Anyway, I thought it was 3. Maybe last year was 3. Whatever. I said, we're going to do that. And then I forgot to put it back in. I did it on my first mod. If you watch the videos back, I had an issue a little over a year ago where I deleted something in the files where things weren't working. So I didn't know how to find it. So I had to start over. And when I started over, I forgot to put the text creator back. But that's okay. It's in there now. It's in there now. It'll be in there for the next release, which will be May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you, Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you. All right, but anyway, we have some townspeople, and so all is not lost. I just can't put down a billion of them. Maybe a handful in each section of the city, maybe. But anyway, I'll see y'all later. Until next time, remember to keep on modding, keep on messing, and keep on building.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.